You opened your case because you want to prove to your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Burns, that he fathered your 4-month-old son, Myvan. You say Mr. Burns abandoned you while you were pregnant, refused to sign the birth certificate, and has left you to struggle financially. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Mr. Burns, you state Ms. Jarquin was already pregnant when you met her, and that is the reason she slept with you on the first day you met, because she wanted to trap you. So, Ms. Jarquin, you say Mr. Burns has done nothing for Myvan?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Explain.
I have attempted, after my son was born, to reach out to him to just buy simple things, diapers, water, milk, whatever my son may need at the time. He has yet to this day provide me any type of financial help at all with my son.
I haven't done much because I don't believe that Myvan's my son. I don't believe it, first of all, but I'm still trying to do things like, I invite them over to come and, chill, watch movies, or,
You don't invite me over. I tell you.
And why are you inviting him over if he's not your child to chill and watch movies?
I mean, she often,
4-month-old baby don't want to watch a movie. 4-month-old baby.
It's not because, it's not so much of him. It's not so much of him.
You need to stop lying, bro. You haven't been there for my sister at all. I've been working 24/7 doing your job.
It don't matter.
You're doing it. You know that's your son.
It don't matter.
You just lying because you don't want to step up and be a man to it.
It don't matter about the money. That's my family
Mr.
over here that I take
Mr.
care of.
Diaz,
You know what I'm saying?
please
I take care of them by myself.
Yeah, I sure will.
Step to the podium. What is your testimony, sir? What are you saying?
I'm saying that I've been with my sister 24/7. I was there since she met him. And ever since they got together and I found out that she was pregnant, she said it in front of him. So he been knew she was pregnant because he moved in with us. But yeah, I seen her taking care of him. She will buy things for him all the time.
And then I did
tell
her that I don't believe.
He needs to buy things for you. So he been knew she was pregnant. He just lying because he don't want to step up because he already got 2 kids with her. So, okay, so if you know what you was doing, all right, you need to step up to it, bro. You need to step up to the plate.
So hold on, I want
to. I make sacrifices that you should be making.
And first of all,
taking care of yours. Taking care of yours. Taking care of yours.
From the sideline and what she's telling you. She ain't telling you.
From what he's seen.
That's what I'm seeing. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't be here if I wasn't there, man.
Mr. Diaz, what have you done for Myvan thus far?
I've taken her to the hospital. I will help her pay the rent. I will help her pay the bills. I will get food for the house. And I will still take care of my son. Okay? And the fact she didn't even have a car at the time. She did not have a car at the time, and I found the money, and I got her a car. And because of that, yes, I lost my truck, but it was a good sacrifice because at least she has something for my nephew. So I don't mind taking a taxi every day, as long as I know she's doing okay. So that's sacrifices that I wish he would do. But he doesn't want to do it. Well, you know what? I told him, don't worry about it. You got me. I'm happy to do it. I'm sorry?
It's not my son.
Dude, you don't want to step up to the plate. He looks just like you, man. He looks just like you. Everybody sees him like he looks just like Sean.
It's funny that he would sit here now today and saying that it's not his son. Why would he sit there and tell my family, oh yes, this is my son. I can see the resemblance. I mean, he's taking pictures in the bathroom with my son that he showed me afterwards. But that's not his son.
And so you're saying the story changes?
Often, on and off, all the time. It's yes, I am, no, I'm not, yes, I am, no, I'm not.
What was the nature of your relationship? Were you in a committed relationship?
At first, Your Honor, when we first met, it was more so just talking. Then eventually it got to the physical part.
So how soon after you met were you intimate?
We did sleep the first day because we were talking prior to that.
So the first day you got together, you had sex?
Yes.
Was it protected sex?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So how is it you can know for certain this isn't your child?
I have a timeline that I would like to show you of why.
This is your exhibit?
Yes.
Please step over. Explain to the court what this exhibit outlines.
Okay, so my first date going over her house was July 6th, and we had sex that night,
All right, July 6th.
And everything was cool. She invited me to stay. I stayed, and a couple weeks later, on the 27th, she tells me that she's pregnant 3 weeks later. So my first thought.
So that makes sense. 3 weeks later.
Okay, so my first thought was, dang, that was quick. She must have already been pregnant. That was my first thought.
But I mean, if you have sex on July 6th, by July 27th, if the egg has been fertilized, then she could know.
September came and she went to the doctor on the 14th. You know, the doctor tell her that she's 12 weeks and 6 days, right? 12 weeks and 6 days. I go back 12 weeks and 6 days. I come to find out that I only been knowing her 10 weeks. So that confirms my first thought. Oh, she already been pregnant, you know?
Okay.
See, that's...
So now that
And
is
plus she had
the
a
doubt.
boyfriend when I first met her.
So when you first met her, she had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So when you count back the 12 weeks from September 14th, 12 weeks and 6 days is pretty much 13 weeks.
Right.
Oh, we in June now.
We in June. I came in July.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Ms. Jarquin, were you dating another man in June?
No. What he's talking about, I had been left that relationship a month prior to me meeting him.
Were you intimate with that other man sometime in June?
No, Your Honor, I was not.
But if you're
Yeah,
looking
right.
at the calculation,
Your Honor, may I clarify
I came
something
to her
here?
house and I found, you know, condom wrappers and under her bed, and like she'd be on
Your
the phone
Honor.
with you know, other dudes and tell me, you know, saying just be quiet, you know.
That is a lie. How
So
are you
you ain't
even
never
gonna sit
tell
here
you
and
ain't
lie?
never tell me.
No,
You told me multiple times.
You're lying.
You told me multiple times to just.
How are you
know.
gonna sit there and lie? What he's
While she
talking
was
about,
pregnant.
when we found out that I was pregnant, we went right after I took the pregnancy test. They told me I was less than 6 weeks pregnant. That was the first time we went to the hospital because I told them, I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and go to the
Oh, I
hospital
didn't
because I
go-
know
I
they
didn't
do a
go
blood
there.
test. You was there with me. You was with me. And if I had the pictures
when I went
that
with
I
you,
took,
the doctor told you was 12 weeks and 6 days.
you're
I know
talking about.
because
You're
I
talking
went and
about.
texted her.
They gave me the paperwork, and I showed him where it was saying that I was less than 6 weeks pregnant. Basically, I was just early in the
You
pregnancy.
show who?
when it's that early in a pregnancy, it's hard for the doctors to really understand and give a window of conception because it's so early. That's why they usually have you wait a good 8 weeks or so before you even go for your first real doctor's appointment. My thing is if you were 4 or 5 or 5.5 weeks pregnant, that would have been before you ever met him. So I understand this testimony. Mr. Burns, you can step back to the podium. I do understand there how your calculations may lead you to doubt. What is your other doubt?
My other doubt is I knew she was having other partners, sex partners. You know.
How do you know this?
It was 2 other guys who at the job who I know, you know, personally. I actually spoke with them too. That
Who?
they slept
That's
with
what
her.
I want to know
They
is who?
slept with her.
Who
They told you this.
Yes. Yes.
has
Your
yet to
Honor.
tell me? I don't even know who he's
In
even
the
talking
same
about.
time frame that you were?
You know one.
Yeah, you have no proof of it,
Who
man.
are you talking
You know.
about? Because you're bringing up people that are irrelevant to what we're going through now. It really is irrelevant. Like I don't
It's
even
not
see.
irrelevant because you was with him before. you was
Whatever
with him
happened
before
in my
me.
past has nothing to do with you. I didn't even know your name. I didn't even know you existed. So what are you talking
So why are you
about?
bringing up the past, man?
Like that doesn't make no sense.
Because it goes before. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? She was pregnant before me.
Your Honor, and I have some pictures over here. He's not the father, but I want you to see how is it that he likes to play daddy.
I'd like to see those. Jerome, will you hand me Ms. Jarquin's evidence, please?
Pictures that he's taking while I'm not looking. But that's a man that doubts, and that's his
The
side.
pictures you've submitted to the court are of beautiful Myvan and Mr.
But that's not his son.
Burns.
I was taking pictures so
Why?
I can confirm.
Why? That's
I was,
not your
I
son.
was
Why-
taking
why are you
pictures
gonna
so
say,
I
I
can
wanna
see,
take a picture
so I
with a
can
kid
see
that's
if he
not
looks
like
like
that?
me for myself because
You look
everybody,
pretty happy
everybody
there.
else says,
You look pretty
everybody
happy
else
there.
says that okay, he looks like me, but to me, he doesn't.
But Mr. Burns, if you just look at that shot, you look like a father looking lovingly at his son.
Yes.
I love kids. I love kids. You know what I'm saying? I have a son. I had a son that I lost. Me holding him right there, that brings something back to me. I lost my son, and he was that age. He was 3 months when he passed. You know, so that is something right there. Yeah, something right there. But that's me just looking, trying to see if he's my son.
I want to hear from your witness, man. Please stand. Please state your name for the court.
Renatia Nobles.
Ms. Nobles, what relationship are you to Mr. Burns?
I am the mother of his children.
the mother of his children. You all have children together?
Yes.
And one on the way, I presume.
Yes.
What testimony do you have to add to this?
Apparently, she has doubts as well, because when we talked about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we met in person, and she said, if it is his, I just want to take full custody. I want to put him on child support. I don't want him to have anything to do with the baby.
She said, if
Your Honor,
She said if, and then when you say if, that means you are unsure,
Your
correct?
Honor, we was both pregnant at the same time, pretty much. So that pretty much confirms how he was sleeping with both of us at the same time.
Right.
So let me just put that out there before I say this, okay?
He's not denying that.
No, I have produced some text messages where we were still texting each other, where he was pretty much acknowledging, oh, hey, my mom just said this. The queen has spoken. This is my boy. I know. And I even asked him, I said, hey, are you sure? Are you for real this time that you're really gonna step up? Is my son finally gonna have his father on his birth certificate? He was okay with it. He was okay with it. He even had pictures of him and the baby together that he was trying to see, I guess, if they look similar and whatnot. And he's like, oh, I can see this is, you know, that he has my eyes, he has my nose. But you saying you cut me
Your
off.
Honor.
So it hurts you.
so-
Hold on. Ms. Jarquin, you're stating that you have no father's name on your child's birth certificate.
I do not, Your Honor.
And that hurts you. I can see that bothers you.
It does.
I have 3 other kids by one man that I started at the age of 16. If I knew then how to be a mother, how can now me having my 4th gonna change that? I know what it's like doing this all on my own. And it hurts me because I know he's able to, because I helped him find the job that he has now in hopes that he would help me, and has yet to do anything. And it hurts because every time I look at my son, knowing he's needing things and I can't provide off of $13 that I stay with every week, it hurts me because he could do something. He
How
had
can you
the-
stand there right there and just watch her, man, with no kind of emotions, knowing that she's struggling with your son?
Because I know where it's coming from.
Try to give up
Especially
what I give up.
especially
That's when you call yourself a
especially to
father,
boy
bro.
that's not mine.
Let's
You know
get
what
some
I'm saying?
order. Let's
You're a
get some
coward,
order.
man. That's what it is.
So it is what.
So,
that's
Ms.
what they do.
Jarquin,
It is
you're
what-
testifying. You said you're surviving off of $13 a week.
Pretty much that's what I have left over after I pay my bills, after I pay my car notes, after I pay everything that I need to support my child. Basically, that's what I'm left off before I even get my next check.
And you submitted a tape to the court
Yes, Your Honor.
so that you could further explain what you've been going through.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to look at that now.
Things have been really, really hard for me financially. It hurts me to know that I'm coming home to face reality, basically. His father's out there doing what he does, and I'm over here wondering, how am I gonna get diapers? How am I gonna be able to afford the milk? Am I gonna be able to get him what he needs?
Yeah, what a great father, man. You're a great father, bro.
He is actually a great
Oh, he
father.
is?
Yes,
He
he
is?
is.
Facts.
Wow.
He is.
Wow.
A very good one.
I would like to
So
see that.
the bottom line is, Ms. Jarquin, you're barely making it. And you open this case because you need help. And you believe Mr. Burns is your child's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you honestly don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, but for your brother's help.
And I can't always depend on my family. I know they've got their own lives. You know what I'm saying? It's come the time where enough is enough. I don't care with what he can help me with, but at this point, I need whatever I can.
All right, Jerome, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Jarquin versus Burns, when it comes to 4-month-old Myvan Diaz, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Burns, you are the father.
I know now, you know, and I'm gonna treat him and I'm gonna love him, you know. I'm gonna be there for him, as long as she let me.
Myvan's 4 months. The blessing in all of this is that you just got down to the bottom of it early enough. From this point on, he really can grow up never knowing that this transpired and always knowing and understanding where you are as long as you step up the way you say.
Yeah.
But before I go, I must caution you. This was an obvious love triangle. This will just keep happening. And I don't want to see you in this courtroom again denying another baby by this woman or by this woman because you don't have the discipline to grow up and stop making babies everywhere you lay your head. Mr. Whisler, you claim you currently owe almost $21,000 in back child support
Yes, Your Honor.
for the defendant's son, a young man you believe may not be yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say your paycheck is garnished each week, leaving you only $70.
Yes, Your Honor.
If today's results prove you are not the young man's father, you plan to return to your home state to get this enormous debt erased.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Frazier, you admit you've always known the plaintiff may not be your son's biological father, but acknowledge he's been held financially responsible for him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yet regardless of whether or not today's results prove he's the father, you say he really just needs to get over it.
Yes, Your Honor.
No.
Mr. Whisler.
We're here today to get this settled once and for all. I've been waiting 18 years.
Well, tell me why you doubt paternity.
Because, Your Honor, we were in a relationship, and about late 2005, she comes to me and tells me she's pregnant. And I always ask her, are you for sure it is mine?
You had doubts from the beginning.
Yes, ma'am. I had a torsion. That, the doctor said right there, no, you're unable to have children.
So the doctors told you weren't
Yes, Your Honor.
able to have children due to a medical condition.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And now I've got this bill, $21,000. They're wanting me to pay for somebody else.
Never asked child support from you. I never asked them to get child support from you ever. Never.
Yes, you want to
No,
go
I haven't.
down and take care of this like a young
I went
lady.
down there. You can look at the paperwork. The
yeah.
paperwork always said the other guy's name.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to find out today.
That's cool.
We
That's
are going
good.
to find out today the honest to God's truth.
That's-
Of this
So, hold
18
on.
years that I've been living through this, excuse my language.
Please be respectful in the court, sir. So, Ms. Frazier, when you found out you were pregnant, did you tell Mr. Whisler it was his child?
I told him I was pregnant, and he told me it wasn't his.
And the other guy that you say you always put his name on all the paperwork.
All the paperwork.
This other guy sign
What
the
about
birth
the birth certificate?
No.
What
You
about the
wanted-
birth certificate?
you wanted him to have
you
your last
told me
name.
You told me if I wanted that kid
To have your
my
last
last
name.
name and I wanted to claim him, I would be there for the birth.
Yeah.
And I was there.
That's
and
why
I
you got
did
your
it.
last name.
And then it come out a little while later that you had been sleeping with this other man all this time.
At 6 months, you knew.
Yeah, at 6 months after birth. After the fact.
So, Mr.
Right.
Whisler,
Yeah, and
And
you did sign the
did
birth
that is
certificate.
wrong. I can't go on with my life now.
You did sign the birth certificate,
Yes,
am I
ma'am.
correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And you claim that not until the child was 6 months old were you told that there could be a question regarding the paternity.
Yes, Your Honor.
So take me back to that time. How did she tell you this?
She told me straight up, yes, it could be this other man's.
because he was proud to have a son and not denying it like you.
He should be standing up if it's his kid.
He
should be
does.
standing up for it. Why
did.
am I reliable to pay this over $21,000
I didn't
when I
ask for
was
that.
working?
I ain't seen none of
They
that
were
money.
taking most of my paycheck.
I've never given it to me. I ain't got no child support one.
You never,
Never.
received any child
Nope.
support from the state of Missouri.
Nope.
I
Not
think
one.
You are.
Hold on,
have
Mr.
not.
Whisler, Mr. Whisler, what is the evidence you keep holding up?
This
May I see that,
a
please?
letter I received from the Child Enforcement of the state of Missouri just about 2 weeks ago, Your Honor.
But they're not giving it to me. I've never received child support.
And, you know, that just don't add up.
This letter from the state of Missouri indicates total past due support $20,850.
Yes, Your Honor.
56 cents.
And I've paid no telling how much already on this child.
And so you say the other man may be the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So did he ever pay child support?
No. I've never gotten any. No, at all.
Were you receiving assistance from the state?
Food stamps.
Okay. So if you were getting assistance from the state, they're going to then follow up with the father, the legal father
Yes.
of record,
And I am lucky
to pay them back
Right.
the money. You
But
understand?
on the paper.
So who did you tell the state?
On the paper, it asked if there was anybody else who could be a biological father, and I've always put down the other guy's name, always.
Did you put down Mr. Whistler's name too?
That was the name on the birth certificate.
But Mr. Whisler, because you signed the birth certificate, under the law, you are
Yes,
the
Your
legal
Honor.
father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that when you were signing that birth certificate that day?
Yes, Your Honor, I certainly did, but I was to the impression it was my child. There was no
understand.
other ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was mine. And now, here, $21,000 later in debt.
And so you brought a witness. I'd like to hear
Yes,
from her.
ma'am.
Ma'am, please stand. Ms. Owsley, thank you for joining us. Your relationship to Mr. Whisler is?
Fiance.
What do you know about this situation?
I've been doing some research. And that's what I have here on child support.
Jerome, will you hand me that evidence, please? What
Now,
do you
they
know?
can come after her.
And this evidence
this.
is presented to prove what exactly, Ms. Owsley?
The penalty for lack of child support.
So your concern is your fiance could go to jail
Exactly.
for failure to pay child support.
Yes. I don't know if there's going to be a knock at the door. Come get him, take him away, because he owes the back child support.
And I've seen them take people for less than the $21,000. I see them go for $5,000, $6,000. And it's just not right, for me to be in this position because of this lady here.
And yet, you signed the birth certificate willingly.
Yes.
Yes, I was under the impression that I could have been the only person that could have been this child's father.
You signed that birth certificate because you believed at that time it was your child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because that's what Ms. Frazier told you and never told you there was the other person.
Yes, Your Honor, until about 6 months later.
After the child was already here.
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
you had already signed the birth certificate.
Yes, Your Honor. I even went as far as after the child was born, a couple of weeks, I went to my boss and asked her for the money to loan me to get her a ring, and I proposed to this lady. And she took the ring and said, not right now, and put the ring on her finger. And
Why?
I'm here today to finally see that this is taken care of. After 18 years, we are here. And I still got to go back to the state of Missouri and hire someone before I go to jail.
Because Dallas is almost 18 now.
Yes, Your Honor.
However, you have all of these arrears that are still adding up.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you could go to jail for failure to pay child support.
Yes, you're right, Your Honor.
Dallas is now 18 years old.
Yes, he is. Yes, Your Honor.
Have you tried to develop any type of relationship
Yes,
with
Your
him?
Honor. Numerous times I have traveled over 300 miles to come and see him, and I would call.
At your convenience.
I would call and ask Miss Frazier, could I come by and see Dallas when I get there? Sure. Then when I would get up there on my way over, I would call and say, I'm on my way. Oh, we're somewhere else. We ain't at home. We can't do it today.
We have lives that
You know,
can't
yeah.
stop.
But
change for a 10-minute visit.
understanding that I had called previously and asked you.
Well,
Did I or did I not? No.
Not always.
You won't let me take him nowhere.
Whatever. He's
And he
18, he
refuses
can
to
go all
go
by
because
himself.
You got him brainwashed, I believe.
Frazier, is there a reason why you wouldn't allow him to see Mr. Whistler for all those years?
Growing up, yeah, because I mean, he not once changed his diaper, never, not even once.
I was at work during the day.
I was at home
and
every
you
night.
were out messing around.
How can I do that when I was raising 2 kids all by myself?
So were you aware, Miss Frazier, that all of these years he's been on the hook and responsible for child support?
I've tried to get them over and over numerous times to test the other man, and so because I can't afford to pay for it, and I've tried to get them to do it, and they have never done it.
So I pay for it until
No, I haven't
whatever.
asked for nothing from you.
Huh?
I have never asked for anything from you.
No, you haven't. The state of Missouri
Okay,
has.
there you go. That's not me.
Yeah, it is the same
No, it's
thing
not.
as you.
No, it's not.
For lying to me this whole time.
Yeah, I
Mr.
lied to you.
Whistler, you submitted to the court pictures, and you feel like Dallas looks like you in many ways.
Yes, Your Honor, and I think there's a lot of resemblance.
And so if he is your son,
I
do
will
you
step
want
up to
to
the
develop
plate.
a relationship?
Yes, Your Honor, I certainly do. I will step up to the plate and do what I have to do to take care of this $21,000 that I am in debt. But
Jerome, I think it's time we meet Dallas. Can you escort him in, please? Mr. Whisler, thank you for joining us today. You realize why we're here.
Yes.
And so I have to ask you directly, do you believe Mr. Whisler is your biological father?
As I was growing up, I did believe he was my father, but I was always told that it could be somebody else.
You were?
Yes.
Always told?
Yes, she was
Which is
always
consistent
honest.
with your mother's testimony that she always tried to list the other person. Have you ever met this other man?
Yes, I have.
You have. Do you refer to him as Dad?
I did one time, but that was just to get his attention.
Okay. Do you have a relationship with that man?
Not anymore.
And how about Mr. Whistler? Do you refer to him as your dad?
Yes, all the time.
All the time?
Yes.
Yes, he does, Your Honor.
You know, you're a young man, and just 18 years old, and this must be very difficult for you. Were you aware of the circumstances Mr. Whistler testified to, that he's been paying child support and been responsible for child support for you? You know he's on your birth certificate, right?
Yes, Your
You do know that, listed as your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And yet, for most of your life, you understood that it could be someone else.
Yes.
And nothing's been done about that for 18 years.
She has tried to, but Missouri has not answered anything that she has tried to tell them or ever tried to change the birth certificate.
So you have personally witnessed firsthand your mother make the attempt to change your birth certificate?
I've seen her try to get the other guy listed as the father.
Now, why, Ms. Frazier, would you change the birth certificate to be the other guy when you don't know for certain if it's him either?
So that the state wouldn't be going after him.
Okay. So you
Because I've never felt that he should have to pay the child support, and because it wasn't right.
Here I am, stuck with this $21,000 debt still.
But I've tried to keep them from doing it.
You know, this does not make
But
it go away.
Mr. Whisler, I have to inform you, because you signed the birth certificate, you may still be responsible for
Yes,
that
Your Honor.
$21,000.
Yes, I understand.
Depending on today's results, you will have the opportunity to return to your home state and see if perhaps there is a way you can get that $21,000 debt erased. However, there are no guarantees.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand this.
But if Dallas is your biological son, understand, then you are rightfully responsible
Yes,
for
Your
that
Honor,
debt.
I certainly am.
Okay?
I love this young man with all of my heart, and always have, and always will. And I'm here today to get the final answers.
Well, I
that I've
have
been
those
looking
answers for you. Jerome, the envelope. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Whisler v. Frazier, when it comes to the paternity of Mr. Dallas Whisler, Mr. Whisler, you are not his father.
Dallas, that still is not going to change my love for you and wanting to spend time with you.
I still love you too.
I am a man of my word. I just thank you, Your Honor, and now I can go back and try to get this resolved.
You need to seek legal counsel when you return to your home state,
Yes, ma'am.
with the understanding that there are no guarantees that that debt will be erased,
Yes, Your
because
Honor.
you are on the birth certificate and you signed it voluntarily.
Yes. Your
But
Honor.
at least now you have the truth. This has been a difficult situation, I can see, for all of you adults, and yet my concern really is with you, Dallas. Are you okay?
Yes.
You are. Are you okay because you always knew there was a possibility?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, Mr. Whisler obviously has a lot of love for you, and I'm hoping you are a man of your word and you continue to love and support this young man.
I most definitely will, Your Honor.
And this court has resources for you to help you begin to process this, to figure out how to move forward, because that's what we want the truth to do for each of you. And I wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court is adjourned.
Thank you.